and welcome back to Wednesday's episode of the Gamescast, brought to you by youtube.com/ImprovGaming. As usual, I am your host for this episode, Jeremy Bird, the biggest... Oh yeah!
I'm slashing.
Well, it only took us 1 week to fuck up his episode.
I'm sorry. All right.
You know what I thought, though? To be fair, we mess up his episode, but coming soon, never mess up. Never.
Yeah, it's always youtube.com/ImprovGaming. Jeremy Bird, biggest Zelda fan in the world, coming at you once again. Tattooed Triforce on my arm right there.
You got pen marks. You're getting beat up.
I'm joined by my two best friends. First, to my right, he is the host with the most, Mr. Peter Anderson.
What's going on, guys?
And to my far right, he has the best ponytail in the business,
It's fabulous.
Mr. Nicholas.
How's it going tonight,
I
everybody?
see you're not wearing a shirt today. You want a tank top?
Yeah, I don't
Look
know
at those
why.
guns.
It's not even like a tank top. It's like more. I don't know. Is it a tank top? Well, it's too wide.
It's
like
sleeveless.
that. Like it's a sleeveless.
You just
It's
wanted
not-
to show off your muscles to the ladies.
No, there's no muscles to show off here. I just wanted to show off the tattoo. That's it.
But, gentlemen, I bring to you this week, a usual YouTube channel I watch is doing a death battle between Ratchet & Clank versus Jak and Daxter.
Oh, I saw this.
How do you like them apples?
I like
Who do
them
we think's going to win?
Jak and Daxter.
Ratchet and Clank.
Jak and Daxter.
Jak and Daxter.
Come on, Jak and
Ratchet and
Daxter.
Sorry, dude. Jak and Daxter.
Can I
He goes Super Saiyan, bro.
Can I specify why?
Why?
Because Clank can't do shit. Clank can't fight in a one-on-one battle. Daxter's just going to beat the shit out of him.
I don't know. Daxter's kind of useless too.
But Daxter, yeah.
It would go against.
I mean, it's like a squirrel versus a tin can. Like
It would be.
But the squirrel still wins!
It would be the Lombax versus the retarded brother from Link,
Shut
or whatever
the fuck
Jack, whatever the pony elf motherfucker.
I don't even know what Jak is, actually.
He's Link's retarded half brother.
What's better than being a stupid cat?
He's not. He's a Lombax.
He's a cat.
He's a Lombax.
He's a cat.
what's a Lombax?
It derives from the wolf family.
He looks like a cat.
Thank you.
Maybe a lion.
No, lions are big.
He looks like a cat.
Very big.
He's a cat with very big ears. The only thing I could think of is a wombat.
Wombat's like a I'm thinking the wrong thing. Wombat's like a koala?
No, aren't they like the koalas with the really big fucking ears and the big eyes?
Yeah.
That's.
We should turn this over.
Fuck you.
Yeah, we should turn that over on you.
I'm so sweet.
We've all passed the test. Maybe next week is Jeremy's test.
If you didn't know, this is the greatest video games gamescast in all the Mushroom Kingdom, all of Albion, and all of the past, present, and future incarnations of the Assassin's Creed series. We are three friends.
He's like, I'm not gonna fuck this up.
I'm not gonna do it.
We are three friends who bring you episodes from the Gamescast Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we honor you with Let's Plays every Tuesdays and Thursdays, as well as special live streams. We got a big special one coming from these two guys very soon.
Wow, that's real spoilers.
Spoilers. Fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. Also, we bring
By
you
Friday, it's gonna be announced what the fuck we're doing.
But also, we bring you the biggest news in gaming via the one-up news between myself and Pete. Nick, not
With
so much.
Kojima, it deals with Nick.
Yeah.
And nothing Kojima,
Yeah.
nothing with Nick.
Yeah.
If that sounds good to you, definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, and always share our beautiful faces with your beautiful friends. And now on to the topic at hand, the future of E3.
Well done, sir.
Fucking ad-lib that whole fucking
Now
thing.
you're never gonna see the shoot again now.
Yeah,
that just proves
That's
it.
it. That's done.
But the
Future of E3.
Yeah, I want to see it keep going, but I think it's kind of on a downward spiral. Like Nick said, Nick said that it was originally a gaming conference for the developers and the publishers, correct?
Yeah, I mean it was essentially like like any conference, it was meant for insiders. It was a trade show for the insiders. So it was more to share ideas with fellow developers, and it shifted because people started to focus on it. Like, oh wow, this is what these developers are doing. Wow, that technology looks really good. And as people started to maintain more focus on what was going on to E3 to determine what was going on in the future of gaming, E3 suddenly became more of a advertisement than it was what its original intended purposes were. So I feel like since it's lost so much of its roots, that's why you see a lot of people are starting to drop out. A lot of things are starting to get announced.
Yeah, EA dropped out.
EA dropped out.
We covered that on episode.
I mean, but it feels. I mean, honestly, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you. Like you were talking, and then I kind of took it over. Are you sure? All right.
No, go ahead. I'm fine. Go ahead.
It feels like everybody kind of in some way or another is dropping out of E3.
Yeah.
Because everybody's announcing their big news outside of E3 when they very well could have just held off until E3.
It's the power of the internet.
So that's all I have to say.
You did make a very good point in that on interrupting me. I said you made a very good point on interrupting me.
Oh, okay.
I said it completely backwards.
I have a really good point to make.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm
not drunk. I'm just stupid at times. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I just get this one point out, please?
Yeah. You interrupt me all you want. You make a good point. No, but just like I enjoyed E3 last year. I thought it was really good. You suck, PlayStation, but.
Yeah,
other than that, like that I thought was the funniest thing ever of last year. It was like we all agreed. We thought Sony was very lackluster and was the weak link. And all the Sony fanboys are like, best thing ever, and I'm like,
because of Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much it.
That and the Horizon. That's
that aggravates me because like one game does not make a fucking conference.
No, it doesn't. One game can make a conference. That's kind of like the point of the conference. That's why you're showcasing a lot of different things. Is because it's about the whole. You know, just because
Nintendo was the runner-up.
Yes.
Yeah. Just because they say that they're coming out with the Final Fantasy VII remake doesn't mean that conference was won by Sony. Mm-hmm. And I said it. I was like, it's awesome that they're making a Final Fantasy VII remake. It's awesome that Horizon Zero Dawn is coming out, and that looks good. But besides those two things, there was really nothing in that conference that made me jump up for joy. Yeah. So I couldn't, in good conscience, say that they had a great E3 last year.
Yeah, they had that. They had The Last Guardian. They had Dreams and a couple other things, but nothing really major.
Yeah, nothing to like blow my socks off.
Yeah, blow my socks off.
No,
you don't hear that very often.
Not until the 1920s you really heard that. My goodness.
It sucks me right off.
On a sidebar, make sure you stay here for all the E3 content. We'll be covering it all of E3 with all of our special guests that you've seen, past, present, and future. Best camera girl in the business, Joe.
Are we going to be back in the same location? Or
probably the same location. Makes the most sense.
Same location.
Patent pending. Where are we?
Patent pending. If that location is still available.
If that location is still available. But for all that, you make sure you stay right here for the E3 news, where we go over conferences, we react to them, we say which one is the best. I remember Nintendo was the runner-up. Nick doesn't like to say Bethesda won. Basically, hashtag I was right. But let me talk.
Yes.
I'll make a t-shirt.
There was a time when Pete was right about something.
And it felt so fucking good.
It felt wrong, to be frank. It felt wrong. Nick was like, this feels wrong.
That's why Nintendo's the runner-up.
That's it. Why the Nintendo is the runner-up. So let me walk with me, gentlemen, down this future of E3 of mine.
Okay.
It's failing. Because what now big companies are doing, a.k.a. Sony, Nintendo. Nintendo really started with the Nintendo Directs. We don't have to be at E3. We're going to do Directs every couple of months, give you some big stuff. And, of course, around E3, we'll give you our biggest stuff. But we won't be at E3. You know, we'll have a present. We're just not going to have a press
I still
conference.
want to see them show up. I would freaking lose it.
Then you have something like PSX, where it's all for the Sony fanboys. So it ends up being that you have E3, which is supposed to be this holier-than-now type conference where you have to announce all your big stuff. And
not important.
They do, but then it's like, okay, then when Paris Games Week comes, when PSX comes, what does Sony have to offer? You know, Nintendo Direct. Okay, you know, it's E3 used to be one of the few conferences a year, one of the biggest at the conferences of the year where it goes, here's what we're hitting, this is what we're doing, boom, here's it all on screen. What do you think about that? And it's with all these companies taking their own conferences or being more active in like GDC or whatever may have you, you know, it starts to dwindle what E3 used to be. You know, yes, you were saying that it used to be just all about like a trade type show, but now it's so much more like, everybody tunes in to see what the big release is. And now, and we've been seeing what this week is, I mean, last week they announced Gears of War. They showed the box art, and more importantly, they showed the release date. Which, that's something you save for E3. That's something where it's like, here is a 10-minute, 15-minute gameplay trailer, and you know what, guys? It's coming out in 4 months. Enjoy. Pre-order this, the pre-order bonus, you know? Which they still are going to do, but it doesn't have that effect. It's like tomorrow if Kingdom Hearts 3 says, oh, it's coming out in 2016 in December, and then they go in E3, they're like, oh, it's coming out December, 25th of 2016. It's
we gave you 3 seconds. Here's a minute worth of footage.
Yep, and it's like,
well, it's essentially the same kind of, and I hate to pull off of video games as a topic, but it's essentially the same situation with the trailers of Batman versus Superman, right? You gave too much, and now when the show starts, there's nothing left to wow me.
Yep.
So it's essentially the same kind of concept where you're giving me a lot of information, and then the time that I expect you to step up against that and to wow the fuck out of me, essentially to wow the fuck out of me, you're not really stepping up to the plate because you already tilted your cards.
Yep.
Example being Uncharted. Uncharted was in development, obviously. E3, they showed a great demo. When it worked. And it was, oh, this looks awesome. And then for PSX, they're like, well, you have choices in the game, but it doesn't affect the game. And everybody's like...
What?
What? Like, it's like, oh, you could just choose, what was your favorite Uncharted of these 3 stories? It's like, it doesn't affect it, just has different dialogue options. We're like, really? That's what you give us? And now
that's an attempt at replayability.
And now Naughty Dog's like, oh, here we're releasing new gameplay. It's like, no, I don't want fucking new gameplay. I want the goddamn game. I didn't watch any of the new gameplay because I'm like, I don't want to know anything. I saw the beginning and I was like, what am I doing? It's a takeaway from that experience.
I think that's what's starting to happen is they want to give us a lot of information, and we're starting to see that too much information can ruin an experience.
So they want those pre-order sales. Yeah. Check out Monday's episode.
And they're pushing that, but it's taking away from the experience. And you can't shove something down my throat so much to the point where I'm just like, yeah, but I already pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
That's it. You got who you were gonna get. There's no more flashing it into my face or flashing. Let's say there's 50 people, right? 3 people pre-order the game. There's no more than 3 people that are gonna pre-order that game, no matter how much you flash it in their face. Now, if GameStop says, hey, we're going to give you these bonuses, you might get 5 people to pre-order the game. But that's probably the extent to which you're getting. You're not going to get all 50 people.
Well, I was just going to say, speaking of not looking at gameplay footage and everything, Pokken Tournament, I saw the trailer 100,000 times, and the only thing I didn't like was the fact that they let certain people, I don't know who, have an early release or test the game and they leaked the footage online. It popped up on my YouTube, and I literally clicked not interested because I didn't want to see the gameplay footage. I just saw the trailer, I saw what the characters can do, and then I want to experience the game for myself, which I do enjoy. Minus that flaw.
Look at Square Enix, for example. They held a press conference or whatever, a live event about Final Fantasy 15, but at least I feel there was enough stuff there, But come E3, when they come up on stage, because Final Fantasy 15 is going to be at E3. What are you going to say? Oh, the newest episode is up for our 5-part or 6-part if you get the collector's a holy shit edition. Here's episode 4 is now on, and you can play it now. Oh, or watch the anime series now. Oh, the movie now is gonna be released. August 20th, right before the game comes out a month later. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's cool, but you took all the flair out when you gave us that new demo, the platinum demo, which we played. You can check out here. Oh, what'd you think? You liked it?
Loved it.
Nice.
Yeah. I explored the whole area.
There's very basic fundamental things that you can do to generate hype around a video game. A demo is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
A big E3 presence is another one. Not saturating the market is a third thing. And I think that a lot of these, not just game developers, I think the industry as a whole is starting to lose sight of the basics. Do not oversaturate the market. We learned that from Sega.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do not, I think really it just boils down to oversaturation, because all these betas are coming out, and those are essentially those are essentially
demos.
Demos.
Glorified demos.
Yeah, those are glorified demos So you're oversaturating with demos, right? You've got a beta, an open access beta, a closed beta for those who pre-ordered, an alpha for those who pre-ordered, plus Blue, the homeless guy around the corner from GameStop. You know, like there's a whole bunch of like little hoops and stuff, and I think the very basic fundamentals were, you give me a demo, chances are I'll buy the game. You give me some information about it, like for instance, what's different about this game compared to the last game, or what's different about this game compared to all games, right? Or compared to everything that's out there right now, then you're gonna get my vote, and my vote's gonna be through my wallet. But yeah, well, essentially,
it's
right?
true, but it's funny.
The market's gonna decide on whether or not that's a good game or not, because I'm gonna buy it, and I think that they're just trying to milk more money out of it because developers are spending so much money on AAA titles, so they're trying to milk more out of that return, and it's not going to happen. What you need to do is cut the budget on your AAA titles. One thing that I have to say about Quantum Break is they did not need the star-studded cast that they had in order for that game to be good.
But it did help.
They did not need it. You could have done the same kind of game without that cast.
I challenge you to this.
Oh, here we go again.
My dad, not much of a gamer, obviously. I'm playing, and of course the gameplay's up, and he sees Paul, the main antagonist, Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
From Game of Thrones, yeah.
And he goes, "Oh wait, that's the guy from Game of Thrones." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, he's in a video game?" And then I made the choice and it becomes live action. He goes, "Oh, it's live action." He goes, "Wait, what is this game about?" You know, when it could have been Hoopla, you know, somebody that's not known, and he could have been like, look for 2 seconds and been like, all right, whatever.
Is your dad gonna play that game?
No.
So who cares?
Well, you never know. You could say, hey.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Like my mother had the same exact reaction. Oh, I know that guy. Where do I know him from? Oh, he's Iceman in X-Men. Oh, that's where I know him from.
That's where we go.
That was me last week. I was like,
that's Iceman from X-Men. Oh, wait, I know that guy too. Yeah, that's like the other black guy besides Morgan Freeman and Samuel L. Jackson that's in every movie. like she knew the faces, but it's not going to like compel her to play the game.
But did she ask you what it was about? Was she more engaged in more games than usual?
She's always been engaged in games. She thought that I was playing, that it was legitimately a movie that I was playing, and she was like, "Can I watch?" I was like, "If you want to watch me play the video game." She goes, "Wait, this is a video game?" And I was like, "Wow, the graphics are getting really freaking ridiculous nowadays." And I was like, "Okay." And that was the end of the conversation. But she recognized the people, and I understand that gimmick of recognizing the people. But who is going to play the game because they recognize those people?
Yeah, but it also...
and
I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand your point. But I would feel that, you know, what Remedy did with bringing these actors in is like, hey, if they see, you know, Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, they see the guy from X-Men, you know, hey, for some people it might be like, you know, I wasn't interested, but I really do like that actor. I'm going to check him out.
See, but now they've also pigeonholed themselves. Right? Quantum Break becomes a huge successful hit. How much do they have to pay those people for a sequel?
A lot.
Because they're actors. That's how they work, right? If the original movie was so great and you get a sequel out of it,
you can get double for the sequel.
Then you pretty much get more money. Like essentially, that's how you get paid. Like as an actor, you know, you try a new project and you go, all right, you know what, I'm gonna take, you know, a little fee this time because this is a new project and I'm really interested in it. And I can imagine that these three people, well, three of the main people that you would recognize anywhere are people that were like, you know what, let me try something new with my career and see how this works. You know, it seems like a lot of people, Hayden Penitentiary did it, or whatever her name is. What's her face did it? The girl from Juno did it with Willem Dafoe and that
Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. So you see a lot of people doing it, huh?
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page.
Don't ask me why I know that.
I don't know why you know that. You know, Vin Diesel did it with Chronicles of Riddick. You know, so a lot of actors have done it. Yeah. So they're like, oh, let me see. You know, let me try something new in my career and see how it works. And then suddenly it blows up, and now that's when they go, okay, this worked. I'm a pioneer in this, so now you have to pay me $1 million.
You know that Johnny Young Bosch, who played Virgil in Devil May Cry 3, got got a lot more money for Devil May Cry 4 when he reprised his role as Virgil.
Yeah, and
that's him.
That's how it works.
No, I'm saying no, he wasn't.
That's like with Nolan North though, with Uncharted.
Yeah, he was Virgil. Now I gotta remember who Nero was, because Nero's another famous character I remember.
But you gotta remember, Nolan North, there's staying power in his name alone, but there is no staying power in his voice. Because he uses different voices for every game that he plays. So you can't recognize Nolan North's voice from every game that he's in, because a lot of times you'll be like, oh wow, that's Nolan North? I didn't think he could do that with his voice. These guys are having their actual likenesses used.
Yeah, I get you.
So they're instantly recognized. So that's where the extra money comes in. Is that instant recognizability of, like, that's Iceman from fucking X-Men. You know, that's Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. That's that black dude that always traumatizes me whenever he talks. I don't remember his name, and I have no idea what he's from, but I read... Quick side note. You told me that there was a lot of things to explore in Quantum Break. I knew that guy was in that game before even going onto the college campus.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, by exploring the outside of the college campus, he's standing outside watching the campus with a grin on his face.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I gotta go back.
He's standing... When you're looking at the college campus, look to your back right, you'll see him up against the light pole. And he's looking at the college campus with a grin on his face.
What I was going to say real quick was, hold on, before we finish this up. Going back to oversaturating the market, here's my favorite example of doing things the proper way. 1997 and 1998. You bring up the trailer for Final Fantasy VII. They showed only the CG cutscenes, which is I'm not going to lie, I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, but that's a good fucking trailer. The whole thing, Cloud staring up at the big city, the rocket ship, and then what's the last scene, if you guys remember? It's Cloud trying to reach the switch as the ship's going off, and it just says Final Fantasy VII. You go to Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and they gave you the full gameplay trailer of, like, Robin Williams reading the story, but yet it still shows Link walking around the game. That's a good way to do it. That's all you had. You had the two trailers in 97 and 98 for both games, and the games sold like fucking hotcakes. A little bit of taste.
My last little bit to get back to E3's future.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
We
Major tangents.
Yeah, major tangents. But yeah. I mean, this all kind of ties into E3, but it ties into the developers' aspects on what they're doing, their business practices as well.
Look at it this way. E3. Everybody knows there's a God of War 4 in development.
Yes.
Santa Monica has said it, you know. And everybody's anticipating, is it going to be, with leaks, it's like, oh, is it going to be Norse mythology, you know, is it going to stay with Greek mythology? Is Kratos still the main character? It doesn't look like he's the main character. There's speculation and talk. What Santa Monica and Sony could do is like, oh, here you go, it's leaked, let me just show you. No, they're going to wait till E3, which is a smart thing to do, which more people should do, is like...
But the question becomes, is it really a smart thing to do? Is E3 really the domain to start releasing this? Like, you're waiting for E3. I don't know if everybody's out there waiting for E3. I think you have, no offense to you, or no offense to anybody that does look at E3 as this holy place. I think you're putting the E3 on a pedestal. And, you know, you gotta take the E3 off the pedestal and acknowledge it for what it was, and now it's over. Like, there's no need for it anymore. It was the one outlet that everybody went to. E3 started when magazines were a thing.
Yep. I know, but
you know?
I get that, and I was like, am I happy with Gears of War getting released on a release date? I'm like, yes, I know exactly what I'm going to get on October 11th, and it's going to be Gears of War 4. But it's something where it's, at least it's going to build towards anticipation, which is all what E3 does best. It's like, all at that Sony press conference, everybody's going to be like, all right, we know Horizon's probably coming out this fall. They've said it. You know, Last Guardian's coming out 2025. You know, Uncharted's done. It's like, we know there's a God of War coming, and then it's going to appear, and everybody's going to be like, all right, it's game time. And that's when it has a big presence.
But we already know about it.
Yeah, I know, but to see the gameplay. I know, I'm just playing devil's advocate where I say, that's where E3, like, has greatness, you know? But when it comes to, like, Gears of War 4, Battles of the Wars...
Battles of Wars.
Yeah.
Gears of War.
Gears of War. Battle of the War. What happened? Said no one.
Like, the great part about that wasn't that you said Twilight Princess, it was the way you said
Twilight Princess. Did I ruin your point? Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all good. But, like, what sucks is, like, Game Informer took an in-depth look at Gears of War and introduced the characters and everything like that. Which sucks because that could have been something saved. So it's the future of E3 is uncertain. It's definitely going downwards because so many people, like we said, are releasing stuff early, wanting people to talk, oversaturating the market. But it's something also where those big announcements can save E3. And with people dropping out, it also worries because EA's dropping out because, who knows what they have planned, where EA's probably, like you said, I ain't touching Xbox cross Nintendo or Nintendo cross Xbox. I ain't touching that, you know. Stuff like that where
I'm still holding that one.
I swear.
I would love it.
But that's something where until it's no more, everybody's good. Big announcements are happening at E3. That's what everybody, I don't care who you saw. You know that if when Nintendo reveals their new console, whatever the NX is, Nintendo cross Xbox, Nintendo cross
PlayStation,
xylophones,
xylophones.
You know that's going to be an E3 thing, and until that's not going to be an E3 thing, when Nintendo just goes, oh, we have a new console, boom, here it is, direct next week, all about the new console. Then I'll be like, all right, E3 is dying, But when E3 still has that, oh, Sony's going to show their PlayStation 4.5. Oh, Nintendo's going to show their new console. Until that goes, E3 still has a future. When that goes, E3 will be no more.
I agree.
I don't know about that.
That's my thought.
I don't know about that.
But what are your thoughts? Do you think that E3 is done? Should it fade out, or do you think it should keep going to bring stuff to the masses, or is the market already too oversaturated?
May I postulate another question?
Okay.
If E3 goes under, what do you think is going to happen to the rest of the conferences?
Very good point.
I think that
I'm not asking you.
Let us know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. But until then, we have Friday, which is
Each conference will get our own. Each company will get their own conference. PSX, Xbox One.
Each company will get their own YouTube channel.
But definitely
PlayStation, Direct, Xbox in your face.
But always check us out on Friday for our what we think overlooked games are in our own libraries or coming out soon.
And probably spoil what the hell me and Nick are thinking about.
Yep.
And probably spoil what Pete and I have in mind for the future of improv gaming.
For the future.
What is with you with these weird voices?
I'll show you that later. But as always, ladies and gentlemen,
Game on.